Hello everyone, I'm the Nerdy Fool and welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker. Last time we were taking out a group of cultists at the Shrine of Lamashtu, and we managed to tail their leader back here to Doomra's Inn. And Keston has asked us to investigate. He's going to make sure no one leaves to give us time to investigate. We could go around and talk to all these people, but I'm actually kind of thinking there was a suggestion to check out people's rooms because we might get more information from looking at their things before we talk to them, or at least in addition to talking to them. So I'm thinking let's try that first. That might give us better conversation topics afterwards. The bag belongs to Tedrum's, contains Tedrum's clothes and personal belongings. The sheets are crumpled, the blanket is thrown aside. It seems someone was sleeping in this bed not long ago.
I did it, but to what avail?
There are no hunting bows, arrows, snares, nor any other sign of the Tedrums having any hunting on their mind. Okay, so the Tedrums were here. Someone was sleeping in this bed not long ago, which means probably didn't just rush into the inn. I assume.
Completed.
I am gonna steal your cloak, though. Cloak resistance +2. There's probably someone who can use that. Worst case, knock knock. Well, I've only got a +1. You've got a +2 already. You've got a +2 already. As do you. So our frontliners all have +2s already. So I guess I will make myself next in priority.
Done.
Pile of dirty clothes covers some snares. There are a few hunting bows and quivers with arrows. Most people staying here are hunters, we've been told. So the fact they didn't have hunting in mind does potentially make them guilty. The old sheets on this bed look dirty. The old bed cover is sewed together from the number of patches. Receipts, shopping lists, and other papers pile over Doomer's table. So this is Doomer's room.
In due time.
Nothing particularly exciting.
Done.
We assume Doomra is not the guilty party. Chest contains modest clothing, some packed leftover food, a purse with herbs and other personal belongings. Table holds a pile of letters crossed with a ribbon. These are the letters from Olika's deceased husband. It seems they corresponded often.
Well, it is done.
The mattress covers blood-stained cloth and bandages. Huh. Were you injured? So Olika has a bunch of bloodstains in their bed. Either an injury or you do cultist actions involving blood.
I'm there.
Nothing in that room at all. Hi, stranger. Right, stranger we met as part of a different quest. That was the interrogator who wanted us to sell out one of our artisans. So you're not related to this quest, probably. Alright, so they're not interested in hunting. And you have a lot of blood on in your bed. Tedrums are the non-hunters. Olika is the one with a dead husband and lots of blood. Let's try the Tedrums first. A bearded middle-aged man stands before you. He wears a massive gold chain on his neck. The woman beside him gives a polite smile and a nod as you approach. Greetings, Baroness. The man's voice is so low as to rumble. Let me introduce myself. Cabrin Tedrum from Restov. He nods to the woman beside him, and this is my wife, Una Tedrum. We've come to your lands to hunt. Yet, I admit, we did not expect to meet you in person. To what do we owe this honor? Your room doesn't have a lot of hunting supplies. That was one of the things we noticed. I've been to your room. I found no hunting weapons there. Before we go to accusing, Tell me about yourself, please. I'm a legalist, Baroness. Cavern hooks his thumbs into his embroidered belt. My job is to ensure Restov's laws are upheld. My wife is a keeper of the hearth and my loyal companion in prolonged journeys. Una nods without a word, her gaze fixed on you. A legalist? So, you are a judge? Cavern smiles slightly. Not exactly. I work as a legal defendant in cases where a suspect's innocence must be proven, and I admit I have moderate success in this field. Cavern seems about to elaborate, then stops. No need to bother you with the tedious tales from the courts. Una Tedrum raises her head. We've decided a trip was in order. My husband worked long hours during the last several months, so we felt a journey would be good for us. Bluff, which I could succeed at. Of course, I've heard about you and your famous legal cases. With a difficult job like yours, it's impossible to get by without some divine support. Whom do you address your prayers to? Why, to Abadar, of course, divine patron of laws and lawyers. Cavern looks at you intently. Surely you are aware of Abadar, are you not? You must be. No matter, no matter. I guess I will try the bluff. You know, schmooze a bit. Of course I've heard about you and your famous legal cases. Succeeded. He freezes if someone put a knife to his throat. Is that so? He tries to smile, but his eyes are fearful. I doubt, Baroness, that anything you heard concerned me. My family name is a common one. I've so many relatives, I know not a quarter of them. He clears his throat. Ah. So rather than being excited that we've heard of your cases, you think we've seen through a lie. The sudden fearfulness. Let's go back to the other questions. You've recognized me at once. Do I know you? I doubt it. But news about developments within the Stolen Lands, and your role in them, has traveled far. Melandra is a well-known name beyond your borders. Cameron gives a polite half bow. Far from Pavoy, are you not? You see, Cameron clears his throat. I've heard the wildlife here are excellent sport, so I decided to see for myself. Sort truth from rumor, you understand. Fortunately, my fair wife was in favor of the trip, so here we are. Do you prefer snares or a bow? A bow. Of which you have none. And what kind of prey do you hunt? Kevin freezes. He swallows. Cougars. He swallows again as if fighting to take a breath. Magnificent predators. Worthy prey. For a worthy hunter. He gives an awkward smile. Yes, you're totally guilty. Or at least lying. I don't know if you're guilty, but you're definitely lying. You might have some other purpose for lying rather than being a cultist. An odd place to rest for the night. Why, Baroness, Una gives a false smile. We adore this charming dwelling. He glances around the dim hall. Or she glances around the dim hall. Didn't realize it was Una. I assumed it was still him. Her smile remains, but you notice she raises an eyebrow at her surroundings as if in judgment. I need a key to your room. A crime has taken place nearby. The one responsible may be hiding in this house. Have you seen anything suspicious? The Tedrons exchange glances. I'm afraid, Your Grace. Cavern looks downcast. We won't be able to help you. Have you seen anyone suspicious? Cavern looks around the hall. We are not accustomed to such company, Baroness. Besides, from the Restov legalist point of view, every person in this room is suspicious. Of course, from the Restov legalist point of view. Do you know the hostess of this lodge? No, I don't. Kevin rubs his brow, and I must say she doesn't look forward to meeting new people either. Do you recall who came into this lodge in the last hour or so? Kevin casts a look behind you. Well, on second thought, this young woman, I didn't notice exactly when she entered the room. He turns to his wife. My dear, perhaps you recall. What was the name our hostess used addressing her? Olika, sweetheart. Una shrugs faintly. I cannot recall if I saw her at the start of the evening. Can I get a key to your room that I super don't need? Despite Una's cool expression, you notice a bead of sweat running down her temple. As she spots your glance, her lips tighten. Cavern takes a key from his purse and hands it to you. As you wish, Baroness. And thanks for the key, but I've also actually already been to your room, and I found no hunting weapons there. Cavern becomes white as a sheet. You see, well... He licks his lips, which are now trembling slightly. Una, who was watching her husband closely, touches his shoulder lightly. I beg your pardon, Baroness. She leans into Cavern and whispers something in his ear. What are you whispering about? We succeeded. Excellent. You barely hear Una hiss, Get a hold of yourself, you fool. You've ruined everything. These words seem to have the desired effect. Cavern suddenly straightens and smiles. Truth be told, it's a rather embarrassing matter. Cavern gives a hollow chuckle. I proved a much worse hunter than I thought. Just imagine, I managed to snap not one, not two, but 3 bowstrings in a day. Infuriated, I broke my bow across my knee. It shames me to even speak of it. Sure you did. Una smiles gently and looks aside. I'll be back. Come back to you later. Yeah. Alright. So, tracks led us to lodge full of strange and suspicious people. Any one of them could be our runaway. We don't know if it's a man or a woman. It's hard to tell with all the black hood robes and hoods. We'll have to sort it out ourselves, or maybe ask Keston to do it. As soon as we asked the rest of guests about their room, Una Tedrum started sweating. What has her so worried? Is there something to find among their things? Una Tedrum is definitely not sincere when she says she likes the place. This money bag must have serious reasons for staying in this hole. Reasons she doesn't want us to know about. Cavern Tedrum claims he'd come to the barony to hunt, but he knows almost nothing about hunting, even less than I do. What a ridiculous idea, searching for cougars in the swamp. Cavern Tedrum became quite jumpy after the Baroness told him that she had heard about him earlier. What is he trying to hide so bad? And throwing out accusations at random will get us nowhere. We need hard evidence. We should probably chat with the locals and then check their rooms. Dumra, what can you tell me? Dumra looks at you without a word. I'm looking for someone. Can you help me? Dumra gives you a sullen glance. It seems she's not too happy to talk with you, but she doesn't dare refuse it openly. Do you know who your guests are? Why should I? Dumra tilts her head, her eyes appraising you. I'm not their ward. They come, they pay for a bed, they keep quiet. Why do I care? Why would I care who they are? A crime has happened, Dumra. I need your help to find the culprit. So what did this culprit do wrong? Dumra's voice becomes thick, corners of her mouth curved down. Shot a deer in someone's lands, and now the criminal has run away, as if she was an animal herself? Whatever it is, leave me out of it. The cultist of Lamashtu is hiding in your lodge, and I have to find them. Dumra stares at you for a moment, then utters a hoarse chuckle. One of Lamashtu's own. That's quite a story you've spun, Your Grace. Next, you'll be telling me I'm holding Rovagug down in the cellar. And what's your proof that I hide cultists? There are footprints leading to your lodge. Your lodge is the only house in the neighborhood. Several hours walk from your lodge is the Shrine of Lamashtu. I don't like your tone. Not going to argue with you. We followed a trail. Footprints leading to your lodge. So what? Folks come to this lodge every day, both from the flatlands and the swamp. And your lodge is the only house in the neighborhood. And, she lifts her chin, is it a bad thing to provide shelter to those who's lost? So you're the sort that's going to provide shelter to anyone, regardless of if they have crimes. Which doesn't necessarily mean you are guilty of their crimes, but you are harboring known criminals willingly, which isn't great. Several hours walk from your lodge is the Shrine of Lamashtu. Baroness, enough. The dwarf claps her hands. Here in the Stolen Lands, you can't swing a dead cat without hitting some goblin's nest or cursed ruins or a shrine of something foul. Alright, well, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to complain about your tone. Do you let everyone into your house? Dumra's face turns red. What are you hinting at, huh? Your guest, Dumra. Do you allow anyone who asks to spend the night here? Dumra blinks several times, pondering your words. Of course, everyone. What else am I expected to do? Pick who gets a warm spot near the fireplace and who gets left out in the rain? I've let you in and your thugs, though you've put a terror in my other guests. Do you remember when they came to your lodge last? When they came to your lodge at least? Dumra closed her eyes, trying to recall. I went to check on my traps. Some people arrived when I was away, so I can't tell you for sure, Your Grace. How many people are in the lodge now, except for you? Watch yourself. There are 3 of them, all sitting there. Dumra nods towards her guests. That one in the kitchen, guessing she's the servant to these two noble folk, they look to be carrying all the coin. There's a servant in the kitchen, belonging to our suspicious 2. Wonder if that's our Cultist. I'd like to examine your room, Doomra. Doomra's hands tighten to fists, but she keeps them on her hips. She says nothing, merely stares at you defiantly. Diplomacy, which we will succeed at either diplomacy or intimidate. Listen, the sooner I cross you out of the suspect list, the sooner I'll leave you alone. Do me a favor and give me a room key, and all this will be over before you know it. Or intimidate. I'm not going to ask twice, damn it. Put the key on the table now or you'll regret talking back to your Baroness. You're suspiciously stubborn if you're in your refusal to help. No, we'll just be nice and diplomatic, even though I don't need the key. But you never know, there might be a locked chest we didn't see before or something. Just give me the key, and this will be over before you know it. Doomra is silent for a moment, then nods and pulls out an old, age-darkened key from her belt. Your way, then. Her eyes narrow. But have a care. No digging through my undergarments, or I'll have your hands on hooks, you hear? Yeah, I have to go. So no surprise, Doomra wasn't terribly helpful, but doesn't seem guilty. At least guilty of the crime itself. Olika, what is your story? Why is there so much blood in your room? A young woman stands before you, wearing a plain dress and a hooded cloak. Her belly is swollen. She's pregnant and her time is near. Okay. I doubt the person who ran away and through the like rocky cliffs and whatnot managed to escape us was a pregnant woman near her due date. Just saying. The woman manages a bow. I've heard other people calling you Baroness, Your Grace. It's an honor to be in your presence. I'm Olika. What are you doing here? I'm taking what rest I can after a long day on the road, Your Grace. I'm a widow. Olika stopped short. I've barely had 2 seasons to warn my husband, and he left me with child, and in difficult times like these. I've got a sister in Gralton. God's bless her. She's agreed to give me shelter in her house, so I went there. There was nowhere else to go. Where are you from? From Galt, Your Grace. I'm from a tiny village near the tract. Guess no one ever heard about this place. You recall the location of Galt and Gralton. As far as you know, the stolen lands lay aside from the places Olika has named. So we are not on the way from Galt to Gralton. So you have a lie going on as well. Are you planning to stay in Gralton? Olika hesitates. I don't know yet, she answers, but if things turn out well, why not? It was a long journey for you. Olika shrugs. I've little coin, Your Grace, so I have to beg traders on the road to ride in their carts. I spend nights anywhere I have to. This place is at least warm and dry. Okay, so she might have had to go a bit out of her way because that was the best cart that she could find. It's possible. I don't really know how far out of the way we are from Galton to Gralton. Let's talk about something else. I'm looking for a cultist of a dark goddess. Can you help me? Olika pales. Cultist? That's horrible. But how can I help you? Have you seen anything suspicious tonight? Olika shakes her head slowly. No, I don't think so. Do you know anyone in this hall? First time I've seen these people was when I'd stepped over the threshold of this lodge. Do you know who came into the lodge last? Olika frowns. I heard a noise from the kitchen. It was like something fell on the floor, and then this grumpy old lady Doomra came out. Alright, well, let's talk about something else. Olika gives you several hasty nods. It seems the talk of cultists has frightened her. I need the key to your room. Olika hesitates, then takes a key out of her cloak and hands it to you without a word. You see this couple at the table. They are nobles from Restov. They claim you were the last one who came to the hall. Olika gives you a perplexed look. But that's not true. It's not. Her voice trembles. Doomra, the hostess. She was the last one. I remember her coming through the kitchen. I don't care about the kitchen. Unless there's a backdoor entrance. I'm curious about who came into this place last. Well, look at, why are there bloodstained undergarments in your room? Where's that from? Olika takes a step back, her eyes wide with fear. I'll explain. The woman lowers her head and rests her hands against her belly. I'm expecting a baby, but because of the journey or all the worries, something must have gone wrong. It hurts. Olika closes her eyes tightly, and I bleed. Oh. That's sad. Olika starts sobbing. I tried to find out what's wrong, to heal myself, to appease the gods. The priest of Pharasma told me he couldn't help. The goddess rejected my child, said it would be born dead. But I can't just accept it. I can't give up. This child, my husband's child, all I have left of him. Olika hides her face behind her hands and starts to weep. You realize you'll get nothing more from her at the moment. Yeah. So, probably you are our cultist. But let's look around first. Table is piled with dirty dishes and cold leftover food.
Or did it?
Something is burning inside the stove. It was thrown in the fire not long ago. Can we tell what? There are many women in the world grumpier than this Doomra. She looks none too pleased at our arrival. According to Olika, she's traveling from Gult to Grathon. That sounds perfectly normal, but how did she end up in the Stolen Lands? They're in the complete opposite direction. She should at least brush up on her geography before trying to lie straight to our faces. And aha, it looks like something was burned in the stove just before our arrival. Yeah. You're burning some evidence. There is a back door that was recently used. Okay. So Doomer coming in from here could be the latest arrival.
I do what I must.
Though you would think if it was a dwarf we were following, that would be obvious enough. The kitchen servant is busy grinding herbs within a mortar. She's wearing a dress soiled with dark stains, and her hair is knotted in a bun, with a few stray hairs poking free. Succeed at stealth, the woman doesn't appear to notice you as she makes her way to the stove. You notice she's limping badly on her right leg. Before you can speak, she turns, sees you, and freezes. Who are you? Name's Tisana. I cook for Tedrims, nobles from Restov. She wipes her hands with her apron. What will it be? What can you tell me about your masters? Tisana frowns. No quicker road to trouble, talking about masters, that is. She glances at your clothes and sighs. How would you like it if your servants were all a gossip about you? They pay regular, not stingy with their coin. They don't yell much, so I count myself fortunate to do. Why are they here, you think? None of my business. Might be they have things to do, but I wouldn't know it. I mend, I cook, I serve where needed. Alright, that's enough about the Tedrims. She doesn't react. We're looking for a criminal who may have fled this way. Have you seen anyone suspicious? What can be seen here, you say? Son snorts. Ask Doomer. She runs the house, she does. Has anyone come into the kitchen recently? Only Doomer came. She frowns, no doubt checking to see I'm not palming the silver. As if there's anything worth stealing here. So there's not. Though the lodge doesn't mind you cooking at her kitchen. As if she came here often herself, she throws up her hands. Filth piled in corners. The floor sandal deep in dirt. Had to work my fingers to bone to clean the kitchen before I could start a proper meal in this. She curls her lip. This cowshed. That's all I need. She waves her hand and turns back to tend the stew boiling at the stove. I need the key to your room. Room? She raises an eyebrow. I don't have a room except here in the kitchen. Bed's a bench. Still warm enough though. Okay, what are you cooking, Sana? She throws a glance at the stove. There's for tomorrow. She hesitates. Tomorrow's midday meal it is. Let's peek into the stew pot. You take the lid off the pan. Some brew boils inside. It looks strange and smells odd. You lean over, smell the stew, and immediately flinch. The acrid stink of vinegar feels like a punch in the face. Besides, you can smell some strange spice, which would be appropriate in a dessert, but not in a first course for dinner. Alright, I won't trouble you any longer. You have my thanks. I have to go. Yeah, there's something weird about you. Right, this kitchen maiden limps, just like our robed runaway. Ah, I'd forgotten that the runaway had a limp. Unless this Tisana is intentionally trying to poison her masters, her cooking skills are way below average. So she is the cultist. She's working with them. We basically have that confirmed. Keston, anything further you want to say? Keston's brows furrowed. He looks at you, waiting your orders. Someone especially suspicious to me. Who would you interrogate first? I ask after I've interrogated everyone. Keston shoots a glance at the dwarf at the counter. Hostess has been staring hate at us since we entered. Mind her. Alright, let's give one more glance around. We'll go back upstairs now that we've got keys, just in case that opens up new possibilities. I doubt it will.
I'm off.
No. We've already been Doomer's room. I think these are all here. Yeah, I'm guessing we're not going to find anything else.
I'm there.
You sure you don't want to talk, stranger? It is funny that we have this stranger here, and yet no one talks about them in this quest. Like, oh yeah, the only people in here are, you know, these specific people. It's like, what about the stranger upstairs? All right, let's give one more chat with you guys. Woman in the kitchen, your cook. Carbon nods quickly. Yes, we just can't imagine our lives without Tisana. Luna coughs delicately. My constitution demands a unique diet. She studies you closely. A private matter, if you don't mind. Okay. Anything? Nope, nothing from you. And nothing more from you. Do you want to ask about something else? I should go. Okay. I guess one more chat with Doomra. Just in case. People say you came to the hall last. Doomra looks at you closely for a moment, then grunts. Right. She speaks slowly, as if keeping her temper. I went out to the kitchen when this clumsy gal has knocked over some of my pots. What of it? Okay. There is someone who seemed especially suspicious to me. Just call the name and I will interrogate that person. Tisana, Tedrim's maid. I mean, all of the Tedrims, to be fair. But Tisana. Keston raises his brow. You think so? He thinks for a moment, then nods. As you wish, my baroness. I'll bring her. I think, Tisana, you know why I brought you here. The kitchen servant casts a wary look at Keston, then you... I would? How? Do you jest, my lord? She gives a half smile, as if uncertain. How could I know what you're thinking? Keston shakes his head. Enough. We know who you are. Lamashtu won't help you. Tisana is silent for a moment, then straightens like a serpent, her eyes cold with contempt. Is that so? Her accent has vanished, the demeanor of a peasant shed like a cloak. Then you know little of our faith indeed. The Great Mother is with me. Tisana's voice is ice. Prepare yourself for her. You guys are still neutral. Level 11 cleric, you're gonna get demolished. I mean, level 11 is higher than us, but there's a lot of us.
I grant you death.
They are actually running. I was sure they would join in the fight. That knockback is super fun. Oh, you are half dead already from like 2 hits. And you've been knocked prone. Stop, I surrender. The priestess of Lamashtu holds her hands over her bleeding wounds, moaning in pain. She raises the hem of her skirt and starts to wipe away the blood from her legs. Her right leg is covered with sores, oozing pus and yellow ichor. You and your minions unleashed a blight across my lands because of you monsters, because of you monsters over on the barony, and honest people fear to leave their homes. We don't know that they're guilty of causing that. What we heard from the cultist, I think, was very vague before the fight started. I mean, they're an obvious suspect to point to, but we don't have enough clues to confirm their guilt. Tell me about the cult of Lamashtu. We are numerous and we are strong. The tribe of Lamashtu's followers grows every day, breeds and spreads over the lands of Galarian in search for places to create new packs. What kind of ritual are you performing? Where are the rest of the Lamashtu cultists hiding? Have you allied with goblins and other creatures in the area? What ritual were you performing at the shrine? We prayed to Lamashtu. We asked for new offspring in the pack. They were talking about a pack and cubs and a mother. And I assume they were talking about an animal, but since they're referring to themselves as a pack, maybe not. We mated like wild animals, free of stupid prejudices. Priestess's lip curve in a grin. I'll spare you the details, Azamar. Those like you are unable to accept the greatness of our ancient faith. Disgusts me to listen to this. I'm not impressed by your attempts to wound my pride. Or the more I hear about Lamashtu, the more I favor this goddess. What else can you share with me? No. It disgusts me to listen to this. Narrow-minded creatures living by stupid human laws. Where are the rest of Lamashtu cultists hiding? The woman's face turns to stone. You cannot make me betray the children of Great Mother. Torture me if you like. Lamashtu will grant me the strength to endure any pain you inflict upon me. Have you allied with goblins and other creatures in the area? No. We have the same mistress, but our paths to faith are different. Alright, enough about that. I held no illusions you could grasp the wisdom of my goddess. Tell me who you are, quick now. I'm the priestess of the cult of Lamashtu, the Great Mother, the ancestress of monsters. The priestess struggles to raise her chin, her voice a hiss. I'm not from these lands. I came because of the pleas of your people, who seek the mercy of my goddess. I came to these lands in secret and hid my identity from everyone except for those initiated in the mysteries of Great Mother. Even the hostess of this lodge had no idea who I was, and those looking for divine benefaction found me on their own. And there are more than the followers of Orastil would believe. You and your minions unleashed a blight across my lands. Because of you, monsters over on the barony and honest people fear to leave their homes. The priestess of Lamashtu shakes her head and tries to close her wounds, moaning, That's nonsense. I've heard the stories about what's happening in your barony, Asmar, but I have nothing to do with this. The Great Mother rules the monsters of this world, but if you had truly earned her wrath, your lands would be drowning in blood. No, Baroness. You must look elsewhere to place blame. Lamashtu and her followers have nothing to do with your troubles. That's also what Knock Knock said. That, yeah, it's not Lamashtu's doing. All these people in the lodge, are they here because of you? The priestess shakes her head. They were searching for the blessing of Lamashtu. Other gods have denied them, and they have to ask Mother of Monsters for her benefaction. Oh, is the pregnant woman now seeking Lamashtu as another option to try and save her child? Yikes. That is not going to turn out well for her. The couple from Restov, did they come to meet you? Yes, several years ago, the lawyer defended a necromancer in a court in his native city, and he won the trial. Since then, all Tedrim's attempts to conceive a child were doomed to fail. Phrasma didn't want to prolong the bloodline of a man who protected those who raised the dead. Una has more brains than her spineless mate, so she'd sought the support of Lamashtu. The child, of course, will bear the mark of goddess, but Tedrim's don't have much choice. Phrasma's memory is long. So he defended a necromancer. Yeah, he defended a necromancer in court, and so Pharasma's preventing them from having children? That's rough. What's the story of the merchant widow? Olika. She's a poor girl clinging to the unborn life in her womb. The seed of her husband was too weak. Olika's child is doomed to perish before coming to this world. Is the lodge hostess involved in all this? The priestess of Lamashtu looks at Doomer in disgust. This thoughtless thing? No, she was not smart enough to see what was transpiring under her nose. I won't offend the name of Lamashtu by calling our hostess one of her tribe. Alright, enough. The priestess glares at you, hatred and contempt in her eyes. Keston, I have an order for you. Keston turns to you. Your grace? Valerie folds her hands across her chest and looks at you with interest. The priestess's guilt is obvious to me. The others, not so much. Chaotic good. I forgive all these people, even the priestess. Let them go. I mean, ultimately, if we trust her, which is a bad thing to do, in my opinion, and Knock Knock, Lamashtu's not behind the monsters, which is really what our big problem is. I don't think that worshipping Lamashtu itself, I guess I don't know what crimes they've done. We know they worship an evil god, and they had altars covered in blood and bones and whatnot. They've probably done crimes, but I don't know. But we can't accuse them of the monsters bursting out of people because there's no evidence to that. And we have two individuals of questionable character who say they're not involved. So, chaotic good, I forgive all these people, even the priestess, let them go. Not sure about that. Chaotic evil, I have nothing against Lamashtu and her flock. Priestess, you are free to go. Lawful good, these people are innocent. Let them leave. As for the priestess, she's banished from these lands forever. See to it she's removed from the barony at once. I don't mind that so much. Lawful neutral, send these people home. The priests of Lamashtu must be executed. Lawful evil, arrest everyone except for the lodge hostess. I want them executed by morning. Or no, hold a moment. I want to ask the priestess something else. We're definitely not going to arrest everyone or execute everyone. I guess I'm sort of torn between letting everyone go, but banishing the priestess, or just forgiving everyone, including the priestess, and letting them go. Mainly, chaotic good is the direction we've been leaning, of course. But I feel like even if she's not guilty of this crime specifically, I don't really... I was gonna say I don't want Lamashtu worshippers in my kingdom, but if I'm actually gonna stand by that policy, I should kick Knock Knock out. Because we know he is a worshipper of Lamashtu. Not repentant at all, claims to be the seer of Lamashtu. If I actually have a problem with all Lamashtu worshippers, I have to kick him out. And if I'm not going to kick him out, then it would feel hypocritical to kick her out just for being a worshipper of Lamashtu. I was definitely leaning towards lawful good, but then I remembered Knock Knock, who I'm not going to kick out, and then it feels weird. Because I was going to say, I don't want Lamashtu worshippers in my land, but I'm keeping Knock Knock. Because I keep all party members. So yeah, I guess we forgive all the people. Even the priestess. Let them go. Valerie's going to hate that. But that's because she's super lawful. Keston might hate it too, but ultimately, they're not guilty of the crime we're searching for. Forgive all these people, even the priestess. Let them go. Keston looks at you as if you're mad. Let them go? All of them? But he hesitates for a moment, then seems to remember his place and nods calmly. As you command, Your Grace. Yeah. It's a weird situation where it's like, I wish I knew more about the crimes of the Lamashtu cult, but we didn't take enough time to find that out. Just, they are here doing culty things, but it's like, there's no known murders or anything that we can tie at their feet. Vali looks at you like you grew a new set of horns. She rolls her eyes and silently turns away. Yeah. Sana blinks and sweeps her eyes over you as if just noticing your presence. Well then, it seems I shall serve the Great Mother in these lands a little longer. If you wish to speak or ask for something, come to the Shrine of Lamashtu. That's where you'll find me. Keston throws a tired look over the lodge and rubs his chin. That's all. He looks around the lodge. We'll deal with these people as you've ordered. I suppose it'll be a relief to Doomra to get rid of such troubling guests. I mean, we're not getting rid of them. They're all free. They can just do what they want, which might still be staying here. I thank you, Your Grace, for your help and for your wisdom. A pity we didn't discover the true reasons behind the blight, but at least we have one less mystery on our hands. Have a safe journey, my Baroness. Joyous day. Lived a long... Let's see. Joyous day? Can we really leave? Lived a long life, but this mess is something new. Thank you for sorting everything out, Baroness. Okay. Yeah, so we managed to catch the surviving Lamashtu cultist and get her confession. Alas, it wasn't what we wanted to hear. Seems the source of the blight spreading across the barony wasn't the Lamashtu cult. Let's hope we find some other leads to get the answers we seek. Yeah, we scouted the whole barony, visited goblins, dispersed the cult of Lamashtu, and even participated in a real vivisection. Now it's time for everyone to meet and discuss what we've learned about the source of the disease. Sounds reasonable. Okay, and yeah, they've all vanished. Anything further that you want to say, Doomra, now that... Nope. Okay. And I think we are going to head out. Yeah, it's... I don't know, I don't feel super good about that, but I'm left with the character I'm playing who's willing to have a kobold city, willing to have a goblin seer of Lamashtu in my party. I just can't see throwing any sort of criminal accusation against someone just for being a worshipper of Lamashtu that we haven't heard has done anything else wrong. Well, we need to get back to our capital. I think we have a couple of things going on. Looks like the council is going to talk about what we've learned or haven't learned. And I think there was another event that was telling me to go back there to meet with one of my counselors. Or advisors, rather.
Adventures can wait.
There's someone on the road. Get ready. Might be interesting to go back to the shrine, though. And talk to the cultist again. This area is covered in fog of war, interestingly enough. A group of travelers carrying bags, satchels, and sacks full of all manner of goods and chattels are shuffling their feet on the road in front of you. Two tougher-looking men are helping one of their companions stand. A pale youth who is shivering, his face covered in sweat. As you approach, the men turn to you and glare at you. Your Grace? Coughing makes me think that you are someone who has the illness. Who are you? The man throws a glance at his small group. Name's Ukred. Urkhead. These are here are my companions. We come from the village of Lervik, and we're traveling to Galt in search of protection. Judging by your bags, you're not just traveling, you're on the run. You see a change in Urked's eyes, and he gives you a cold, even wicked look. And if it were so, your grace, it's more risky to stay in the barony than to go out into the wilds. 3 folks torn to pieces in our village, and even more were slain by the beasts that came out. God has to be safer, they say, and I say we go see for ourselves. Die here, or in Galt, from disease or by the sword, a bit sooner or a bit later. Earthly lives are filled with choices, but what change it truly comes of them. This young fellow, what's wrong with him? Oh, Verdrin, you mean? Must have eaten something. He was fine, see, then felt sick, fever and all, and in the morning he began to cough blood. Rasta willing, he'll make it to the border, and we'll find him a healer there. Verdrin gives a few deep, muffled coughs. The feverish glint in his bloodshot eyes, the glow in his cheeks, the distant look on his face. You've seen this before. This is what the unfortunate servant looked like moments before the monster erupted from his body. There's nothing you can do for Verdrin. His signs are like the others afflicted. Any moment a monster might tear its way out of him. Keep your distance. We could kill the afflicted youth, which I don't think would stop the monster from popping out. Or let's have a little fun. Why don't you try to run to Galt and we'll see how many of you live to get there. Obviously not. Wish there was an option of we have a cure if you can find my healer. But it's not here. But he might be so close to the verge of dying that there's nothing we can do now. There's nothing you can do for Verdrin. Keep your distance. Urked pales and looks at the others. Listen up, his voice is hoarse. All back. Back behind the Baroness. I'm sorry, Virgin. I have to think of others as well. It's just a fever. I'm not... Don't leave me. It's just a fever. I'm not danger. Our rest will save us all. Verdrin. Yeah, you guys are lucky you ran away fast enough. We'll take care of the owlbear. We've got a bit of a history with taking them out.
Adventures can wait.
Hey, Urked, how are you feeling now? Urked's hands are shaking, and as he turns to face you, his voice raises to a shout. Cursed lands, cursed Baroness, it's all your fault. Verdrin died because of you. We're all going to die because of you. Please, Melandra, don't allow anger to guide your hand. This man has been crushed by loss and fear, and he will regret his rash words. You cannot imagine the pain that fills my heart with each life lost. I'm doing everything in my power to save those who can still be saved. Please forgive me, for I cannot protect everyone. Easy, now I'm doing everything I can. What you think you'd do a better job if monsters started tearing out of your citizens all across the barony, huh? As a matter of fact, you, yes, you, are still alive, and I've yet to hear a word of gratitude. I mean, there's truth to that. If we had said nothing, they would have been a few steps farther and fighting an owlbear on their own. I protect the realm from you. I fight monsters. I protect the realm for you. I fight monsters, and all I hear in return is cursing and the mewling of cowards, you ungrateful, narrow-minded fools. Calm down, it wasn't me who killed your friend. What happened here was a tragedy, but it was not... but it is not me you should blame. Lawful evil attack. Talking back to your Baroness is akin to treason. Neutral evil, yellow you want. I couldn't care less about you or your family of beggars. Or chaotic evil attack. Calm yourself. I shall send you to join your friends straight away. I'm gonna go with the neutral good. You cannot imagine the pain that fills my heart with each life lost. I'm doing everything in my power to save those who can still be saved. Please forgive me, for I cannot protect everyone. What do I care about for your apologies? Virgin is not coming back. I will not be able to protect you if you leave for Galt. Turn back, and inside the capital you will find protection from the beast. You will at least save those who can still be saved. I'm not going to attack, of course. The wrath on Ukred's face gives way to disbelief. Is that so? You want to sweep us away from our neighbor's sight? He wipes away tears. It's all the same, no matter where we breathe our last. be it away from home in a foreign land or out on the city streets. Let's die in peace. You hear that, lads? We turn back. Yeah, sorry, but sometimes there's nothing that can be done. We didn't cause this curse on our lands. We're doing the best we can to solve it and save those we can.
Follow if you dare.
But obviously that doesn't, you know, help the fact that they've lost a friend. Was that the bottom of the map? Oh, it was. Okay. I think that means we've
I'm there.
explored basically everywhere. Maybe there's something here. There is. Good. Glad I checked. I'm trying to just get to our capital.
My strength fades.
We should gather our strength.
All right. And with that, we will rest here and then end the episode.
Torag is a decent god. It's a pity you don't save him.
On the day that he betrays you, you will speak otherwise.
Yeah, so we rested out here because I think as soon as we go into the capital, it's going to kick off events. So better to rest now. But anyway, we're going to end the episode here. Next time we will pick up by going in and seeing what all is going on. Hopefully our council has things to say about the current curse. I'll see you guys then. Bye.